Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading today for Libra energy, and this is Libra reading for the month of May. So you may not really find it resonates right now when you're watching it, but kind of if you watch it later in the month and kind of look back at it, you might be like, oh, I see how that fits now. This is kind of the way it works for me when I do my own personal kind of predictive readings. But it may resonate strongly if you have strong Libra placements, if you normally resonate with Libra energy, or you're dealing with a Libra. If it doesn't resonate and you normally feel like another sign is more in line with you, absolutely go and watch that. You know, it doesn't have to be your sun sign, it could be another placement. So yeah, just watch the readings that kind of speak to you. Libra, you seem to have a lot going on. You seem to have a lot going on externally that could be quite disruptive, and it could feel quite overwhelming. And this could have been, I feel like this has been a few months now, but you feel like you're in a much more settled place. So a couple of months back, you had this reading where it was like you felt like a volcano inside. You just felt like you needed to explode. And I feel like if you've released that energy and kind of transmuted that energy, internally you're actually getting very peaceful in the month of May. You're coming through with a lot of patience energy, kind of like you're waiting something out. So again, I feel like it's almost like, I know in your last reading you had this thing about removing yourself from a situation and kind of doing your own thing and being actually quite happy when you kind of separated yourself from some other energies. It's also coming out, I just pulled cards there, just fiddling around while I was uploading some of the other videos. And I got kind of like the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups. And it's almost like, I don't know if you're particularly sensitive, particularly empathetic, psychic maybe at this time, but it's like if you're in close proximity to people who are in that kind of Nine of Swords energy, which is anxiety, overthinking, kind of, how's it coming through? Like, you know, if you're around warriors or something like that, or if you're around people who are kind of like really caught up in their own kind of worries and concerns and anxiety kind of thing, it's almost like by the proximity, it's making you have that energy where when you take yourself out of situations and you check in internally you're actually coming through as very calm and balanced and kind of like empress energy. So I want to say there's nothing wrong internally with you. It's situational, is what's going on. So you seem to have figured this out in May. And you seem to be doing this thing where you've got like self-love and darkness. It's almost like you're doing a lot of either spending time on your own or meditation or daydreaming or introspection. It's almost like no matter, it's almost like internally this is your safe place, right? So it's like your own imagination, your daydreams, perhaps your literal dreams. You know, it's like your own inner landscape is this kind of wonderful place of healing and adventure and good things. So you could be spending some time fantasizing and things like this, or maybe you are something like a writer, right? You've got this internal world within, but it's coming through a little bit like, so with the darkness, it's like, say you start meditating, right? Say you sit alone in a dark room. It's like you, it's almost like what are they called? I did one of these, can't think what they're called, like an isolation tank, sensory deprivation, that's it. So it's like this is coming through today like sensory deprivation, right? It's like you go inwards like that hermit mode energy, and at first it's just darkness, it's like silence, there's nothing there, and then the more you sit with it, the more kind of things start to reveal themselves. It's like, do you know when you turn the light off and at first it's like everything's pitch black and you can't see anything, and then your eyes adjust to the darkness, and then you start to see, you can start to make out shapes, and then after a few minutes, kind of when your eyes are fully adjusted, you can kind of navigate the room even though it's kind of dark and it appeared pitch black at first. So there's a situation where it's like it appears like it's pitch black, right? It appears that it's, you can't make anything out, but the more you sit in that, it's like the more you sit in the darkness, can you see, it's like this is representing you almost, can you see like the stars and stuff? It's like the more you sit in that silence, the more you sit in that darkness. They're giving me like hello darkness my old friend, you know, the sounds of silence. It's like um the more you, the more you quiet yourself, the more you find stillness, the more is revealed to you, is the way it's coming through. So I keep doing this where I kind of like sit still and I'm quiet, and I can start to pick out, you know, individual birds singing in the trees. It's like, it feels like your spirit guides are trying to connect with you, because if you look at these two images here, you can see she's blindfolded here and like she's asleep here. So it's like when you close your eyes and you're quiet and you just listen, you start to connect with these beings. So again, it could represent some kind of spirit guide for you, somebody who's passed over, kind of like ancestors whispering in your ear. It's like you're sensing something. It's like you're sensing something in the darkness, right? It's like just something like, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And again, like she's got her eyes closed there, right? So it's like you're sensing something. It like sixth sense, right? It's like your sixth sense. So it's like the more quiet you are and the more quiet your environment can be. And even if you just take a deep breath and go within, even if it's like you're in a crowd, it's like you can, it's almost like being able to move between two spaces or something. Like shut out the reality, shut out this dimension to go into the other dimension, and to listen to these things that are kind of around you, is the way it's coming through. And it's an act of self-love to do this. And it says beauty and song lines as well. So it's like ancestors perhaps talking to you, or you feel like you've got some kind of connection to something. So again, this can be higher self, right? Your own internal dialogue, your own, you know, what's Jiminy Cricket, your own not consciousness, conscience, something like this. It's something within you, or something. I just did it again where I went quiet and heard the birds. It's something from a different dimension. So this could literally be like your higher self, your subconscious talking to you, kind of through maybe dreams and daydreams and things like this. But whatever it is, it feels like when you do this introspection, it's very, very healing and beautiful. And it's like an act of self-love to do this. Despite anything, it's almost like anything that's going on externally, anything, it feels like a way of coping, right? So maybe there is some like disconnect here. What's it called? Disassociation. But it's almost like whatever's going on externally for you, just by kind of like meditating and going within, it's like you can disconnect from the reality, which could be quite difficult at the moment. It feels like that gets you unbalanced, and going inwards, you find that balance again. As I say, there's like a cat balancing on a fence, which leads me to the cats. So it's almost like so you go inwards and like you go into this daydream space or this imagination space, and it's like you very, because even though you're going through this, you feel patient and you feel calm, and you feel like this Empress energy, like this very gentle energy. Internally, it's like you've harnessed that fire, is the way it's coming through. So if you remember that kind of volcano energy, it's like it's like accepting that that's a part of you, accepting that that's a destructive force within you. But it's kind of like resting volcano, right? It's kind of like inactive volcano. It's like that resource is there to tap into when you need to. And it is destructive because this is Kali, right? So it's something about, so it says will. So it could be like willpower, something like this, but it's, you know, she rides this like a district. Is it Shiva or Kali? Let me just find the thing for it. Which book is it? I don't think I've got the book. I've not got the book handy. But yeah, she's like riding the tiger into battle, right? So it's a destructive force, but it's destructive for the higher good, because it's it removes things that are toxic or you know, not fit for purpose, or even like evil. You know, the tiger eats evil, I think. So it's like it's very powerful, it's very instinctive. You do feel like you're coming into this kind of high priestess energy. It almost feels like, because the next signs after you are Scorpio and Sagittarius, it feels like you're almost like jumping ahead somehow in your own personal timeline to into those energies which are like before you, and pulling them into your reality. It's like you are Libra, you're the Empress, but you're also the High Priestess, and you're tapping into this Sagittarian kind of wildfire energy is the way it's coming through. So there may be something as well about, because just the songs that I was listening to this morning, there could be something about somebody from your past returning, but I feel like it's a past life. So it's somebody who feels very, very familiar, that you feel like you've known them for lifetimes. They just feel part of your soul family. So you could be encountering somebody like this in May. But you had that Gold Rush song by Taylor Swift as well. So it's like, if this person's very, very attractive, it's almost like you know your worth, right? With this Empress energy, it's like you know you're the Empress. You know your worth. So you're not going to go chasing somebody else. You're not going to. The Empress doesn't chase the Emperor, right? Because she doesn't have to. She's like, you've been getting this kind of Queen Bee energy as well, almost like you're the Queen Bee. So you've got these worker bee energies around you who are kind of like, this could be like spirit guides. It's like they're doing the work for you because you're the queen bee, right? It's like you actually have a very important job in some sort of way, which is why the universe is supporting you with this external energy. I don't know. Anyway, you've also got the Space Panther. It's space and the panther, but I'm reading it as the Space Panther. And it could be you, or it could be something that you're connecting with. And again, it could be your own higher self, the Space Panther energy. So it's like space is coming through like this alternate dimension for you. And then the panther feels like an aspect of your energy, perhaps of your anima or animus. Panther for me is instinctive, patient. There's something about right timing, because they were showing me like a panther stalking its prey. It's like if you jump too soon, the prey is going to be startled. I feel like this could have come through for somebody else's reading, but if the panther jumps at the right time, it's going to get what it wants. So that you've got this right timing, patience, intuitive energy to you at this time. You're really waiting something out. They're telling me like giving them enough rope to hang themselves. So have you ever heard that term where it's like if you do nothing and you kind of sit in that high priestess energy of silence and almost like removing yourself from a situation, sometimes it really reveals the hand of the other people. It could be something like that. Yeah, you seem cooler. You seem like you're on this inward adventure at the moment. Space Panther. And Throne at the bottom. So again, that kind of Empress energy coming through there. I want to kind of tuck away the cards because I kind of want to come into your reading fresh. I've been getting a lot through. Oh, you had High Road as well by Kesha. This idea of like, I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm taking the high road because I want to generate good karma for myself. So it's like if everybody around me is kind of acting dramatic or gossiping or being bitchy and saying bad things about me, I can be above that, right? I can choose how I respond. So I was listening to this song and thinking about this, and I went into a shop, and the sales assistant, maybe she'd been having a good day, but she didn't have very good customer service skills. She was kind of grumpy, and sometimes you can be a bit like, right, buy that, and you're a bit passive aggressive. But I was just like, I just responded nicely as though she'd given me good customer service, and I was like, thanks very much, have a good day, and and genuinely wished her to have a brighter day, because I thought, I don't know what's happened this morning, maybe she's got something going on in her life. So it's like you can choose how you respond, and you can respond with grace, which is good karma for you. You can be the Empress and graceful, even when other people are not carrying that energy themselves, right? You get to choose your vibration. Oh yeah, so I had this thing about like dialing a radio. It's like you get to choose your frequency, you get to choose. So again, it could be something like timeline skipping. You get to choose which timeline you're on through your own actions and your own choices. So if you choose a high vibrational frequency, maybe with like the queen and the honeybees, it's like you attract more of that to you than if you choose a low vibrational frequency, which is if you put badness out into the world, it breeds badness, right? So your energy is separate to your environment, and your energy is high vibration. So don't worry about the vibration and the things of others. So yeah, with this Nine of Swords, you had like the Nine of Swords, and I was like, well, what should Libra do? And you got the Nine of Cups. Now this really told me, don't worry about everybody else's problems, everybody else's worries. That's their own timeline to deal with. That's their own stuff that they're working through in this lifetime, and you can do your best to help. But if you're dealing with somebody who's constantly in a low frequency, it's not your job to fix them, right? It's not your job to fix their life for them. You can give them advice, but then step back and get back into your own energy, and your energy is this Nine of Cups. Now the Nine of Cups is success, wishes fulfilled, being in a really high vibrational frequency where you make yourself happy and you're not codependent. So the message really is separate yourself. In May, separate yourself from anyone who's bringing you down, who's bringing your frequency down. You know, and you don't have to kind of like block them on social media. You don't have to say I'm unfriending you or anything like that. It can just be as simple as like go to a different room, make yourself busy elsewhere, take a step back from, you know, get off social media for the day and go and do something different. So it's not saying don't be available, you don't have to reject anyone, you don't have to burn your bridges. You can just take a step back from whatever that situation is and choose an activity that is more in line with your frequency. So I went out for a walk today, you know, and you know, you can choose your reality this month. So yeah, the only notes for you, I've got Beautiful Stranger by Madonna. So again, this idea of like meeting someone who feels, because she says, haven't we met? You're some kind of beautiful stranger. So it's like, you feel really familiar to me. And then I was kind of thinking like the style of Austin Powers, because that's from the movie Austin Powers, and that kind of cheesiness. So there could be something about 70s decor. Maybe you're going to like a 70s disco night or something like this. And then maybe somebody around you with a very kind of like cheesy charm, like charisma, but kind of, think of like Austin Powers. He's really like, oh, behave. He's like very yeah, it's charisma more than looks, isn't it, with Austin Powers? Yeah, and again, I feel like this person's kind of like also got that honeybee energy where, you know, they're attracting. So yeah, Gold Rush came through. Patience, this also came through the card game, is like amusing yourself, doing something, keeping yourself busy while you're being patient and waiting it out. So I'm going to just kind of start afresh. I'm just going to pause for a second, retune into your energy. I just want to kind of show you how I'm putting these in. And then we'll kind of see what the universe has for you in terms of the cards. Again, you've got this, maybe this starting fresh energy, something to do with you. Feels very similar to Gemini. Gemini had this shake it off energy. So you are getting similar messages to Gemini. Maybe it's an air sign thing this month. Gemini had it more though, it was a bit more active. They felt very playful and silly and childish in a way where it's like they were just amusing themselves, and they were shaking off kind of the bad behavior of others, where you feel a little bit more like, you just feel a little bit more graceful with it. You feel a bit more patient. You just feel like, you know, like floating out of a situation. You just feel like you're floating on a cloud this month of being kind of immersed in your own good energy and really enjoying that, and just kind of it's not like you've got walls up, because sometimes you're like the Queen of Swords. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of intuitive messages for you. So sometimes it's like you can go Queen of Swords, right? You can go Ice Queen, and you can really put those kind of very firm, cold barriers up where it's like, don't talk to me. You don't feel like you're doing that. You feel like you're keeping the lines open, but it's kind of like you're oozing this kind of like, oozing's maybe not the right word, but it's like you're emitting this kind of like, it's like a perfume. It's like a foggy perfume, which can be very attractive, right? But it's also like you're making the energy around you denser. So it's not that you're not available. It's just that you're creating this kind of like thickness in your aura that's making you a little bit more hard to reach. So you're not off the planet completely. You're just the messages are taking a little bit longer to get through. Again, you could be very kind of like in your own head, kind of a bit dreamy this month, but I feel like there's some self-protection for it, and it feels right. It feels right for you. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, Libra, we're ready. Sorry about my chip nails. I feel like that could actually be part of the message. Maybe somebody's got chip nails. Libra. Your energy is not as yummy as Leo's energy. Leo's had a really yummy energy. You just feel very floaty and kind of like goddessy, ethereal, smoke, like perfumey, smoky, like loveliness, but yeah, kind of disconnected, but not disconnected. What is that? May for Libra. May for Libra, please. What do we have? Okay, yeah, definitely this kind of, yeah, cave, definitely going within. Definitely self-protection, going within, internal, but very beautiful with it. So Uranus and the library. Uranus is a very dreamy energy, so I'm not surprised this has come out. It's kind of, no, I'm getting mixed up with Neptune. Why am I doing that? So it's innovative, isn't it? This is Aquarian energy. I don't know why I'm reading Uranus as kind of this Piscean energy at the moment. So Uranus and the library feels like King of Swords energy because it's Aquarian. And the library is a source of information. So Uranus is an innovator energy. So you're innovating, kind of like innovate. I feel like this Akashic Records energy. It's like you're innovating, accessing information. But because it's a transmutative energy, it's like you're transmuting the information. It's like you're changing the script, you're changing the history, you're changing the future. And then the sword, very Aquarian. The alchemist as well. Look, I just said it's an alchemy energy. I'm hearing the truth will set you free. The whale, yeah, the truth will set you free. That's really funny that I said that because the sword, right, is like the sword of truth, like the Ace of Swords. And then the whale is like deep secrets, or like deep inner work, because obviously whales swim really like deep down in the ocean, like this big kind of almost like prehistoric creature, right? They're this big titan of the sea, and they do this deep exploration, but they have to resurface, right? They're mammals. I think they have to resurface to get air. So you have this deep dive, like with the cave as well. It's like this deep dive energy, like really doing, like, this is beyond shadow work. This is like beyond shadow work. We're going into like Akashic library work now. Really tapping into something primal, ancient and primal and Akashic, and like deep emotional wisdom here. And then innovating it, like changing. Oof. This one's a bit beyond Libra. I mean, I'm reading for May, right? I'm a Libra, but I'm reading for May, so it's like one step ahead this. I'm not quite there yet. Okay. Giving me that Gold Rush song again. She's like, what is it? Something sinking. So inviting, I almost jump in. What's going on for Libra in May, please? Libra in May. Oh my God, Libras. You've got a higher power. That's what you feel like. Like, this image is exactly what you feel like. You know what I'm saying? It's like you feel like this thick, the air's thick with perfume kind of thing. You just feel like clouds. Like, you don't feel physical, you feel ephemeral. So I want to say it's almost like your higher self is in control this month. You're not really, like, obviously you're a human being of the earth, right? You like have to do the physical things, you have to do the day-to-day, but you almost feel like part of your mind or part of your consciousness isn't really here. And by here I mean in this 3D landscape. As I say, that a crow goes past, it's like you're really in this kind of like almost like the scorpionic high priestess energy of being very like, it's hard to have words to describe things sometimes when it gets very very deep and very esoteric. It's like it can be hard to find human words to describe what comes through more as feelings and thoughts and consciousness. You feel like you're part of consciousness rather than physicality. I'm hearing autopilot. So I think you could be doing a lot of things on autopilot in May. You know, like the day-to-day things, you're kind of doing it on autopilot where, you know, your mind's elsewhere because your mind's doing something very deep. Message in a bottle. So this can be like asking for help. Maybe you've asked help. Maybe you're asking the universe for help. You know, this is like sending out an SOS. It's making me think of like Doctor Who, right? Like Clara, you know, sending out, it's like you're sending your consciousness out through space, right? The Space Panther, but also through time, right? It's like because you feel like this future and past energies, like you know, I think you were getting for a while everything everywhere all at once, weren't you, in some of your readings? That's what it feels like. It feels like your consciousness is kind of everywhere. And so maybe sending out a distress call if your life is particularly hard, or it's been particularly hard, or maybe there's something that you're dealing with that feels like it's a bit out of your control. It's like asking the universe for help, right? Asking your guides, the higher power, for help, like sending out an SOS. I throw this out to see what comes back to me is kind of the message of the bottle. Like I'm sending this out, this SOS out. I'm going to see who replies. And I want to say there's something replying because you've got that, like the Space Panther is not necessarily you. It makes me think of Luna as well. You know, Luna the Panthera, if you look on like Instagram and YouTube, it's this lady who, I think she's Russian, and she's adopted this panther because I think the panther was originally rejected by her mother. So she adopts this panther and she's like the biggest pussycat. She's gorgeous. But they're really emphasizing the panther's tail for me for some reason. She's got this really big, thick, thick, fluffy tail. It's very long, but she uses it, if you watch the videos, to kind of like, obviously she's like climbing trees and she's twisting in midair. So it's like the tail's an extension of her body. So I kind of go off slightly onto, it depends what I'm being told. So just bear with me because showing me the panther's tail. So it's like, extending your energy beyond your physical body. So it's like the tail, right? It's like the roots. So energetically, you're bigger than your body. What's that Halsey song? I'm bigger than my body. You're bigger than your body. Your consciousness is bigger than your body right now. But it's an extension of your physical being. So it's helping you to twist and turn in your environment. Something like that. So which is interesting because intuitively I was feeling like, although you feel very disconnected, right? You feel very elsewhere this month. I think it's right for you at this time because I'm not getting any messages intuitively or through the cards right now about needing to ground. It's like, no, you don't need to ground. You are meant to be doing this kind of almost scorpionic high priestess work right now. So it's like, make the time and space to maybe drop some responsibilities. Maybe if something can be left for another day, leave it for another day. If there's any projects that you can pass on, just pass on them. It's like, this is a month to really be in the ethers. This is what is right for you at this time. It's like, this is your path. So what is Libra's energy? More about Libra's energy this month. Hawk, yeah, higher perspective, right? Higher perspective, starfish. So that's, again, the starfish can come through as like success, like being in the spotlight, but it also has this extending energy. It's like you're extending your energy outwards. Again, like the hive, right? Maybe it's some sort of like hive. You're the queen bee of the hive. It's like you're extending out to a network. I mean, if I bring this back down to reality, right? It's like back to reality. The end of Eminem song. If I bring this back down to reality, this can be like, connecting with people on the internet, right? The World Wide Web. You're extending your network. So extending your energy, extending your how do I say this? Not power or impact. Your energy, your persona out further. connecting with more. And your energy is the hawk. So, you know, the hawk, just look at this, like in the sky. Maybe you're receiving, just because of the bird, maybe you're receiving a message in a bottle. Under that is like truth be told. So scanning, so extending your energy beyond your body, and then scanning your aura, scanning your network, scanning your situation. Again, I'm trying to bring it back down to reality a bit. So getting a very high perspective on your situation that feels, I mean, it's not mundane at all. It's not kind of nitty gritty, kind of tit for tat. It's not, if there's any kind of like gossip going on or like people worrying about small details, you're really getting a very high perspective. You're getting this kind of almost God eye view of your own situation, and it's almost like little things feel so insignificant and not worth worrying about when you look at the bigger picture. And it's not nihilistic at all. It's just, it's not your job to worry about the little things, right? You've got the worker bees around you. The worker bees can, this sounds very egotistic, so watch out for that. But it's like the worker bees around you. There's people who are doing those jobs. You're not supposed to be doing those jobs, right? Maybe you're getting into some kind of like supervisor position, or you have this overseer, but looking for the, because it's a hawk, right? You're looking for the little, you are scanning for the little niggles. You're scanning for the little niggles, but you're beyond them. Let's get, okay, what's going on? So what's in the environment for Libra in May? What is going on for Libra in May? What is environmental, please? Celebration, fun and enjoyment. So watch out for overdoing it. I did get a lot of messages about kind of partying. So go out and have fun by all means. You know, just be careful. There's that dragon again that keeps showing up at the moment. You've got dog, protection from a powerful friend. So maybe it is you're connecting to maybe some kind of ancestor or spirit guide, or higher being, maybe God, I don't know, if you want to talk about powerful friends, right? But you're connecting, I mean, dog is God backwards, so you never know. Draknat, God Draknat. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting silly. Yeah, maybe you've got this. Again, it could be your own higher self, right? Because who's a more powerful friend than your own higher self? But yeah, you feel like you've, you know, obviously protected at this time. Maybe you are tapping into some kind of network of people. Oh my God, with the octopus as well. Oh my God, there's really interesting cards going on for you. It's this spreading out energy, and then this dragon. So it's like catching a dragon, right? It's like fishing, like seeing what you pull in, and you pull in a dragon. But it's like the dragon's a powerful friend. Target, goal-orientated person. Well, I feel like that's that person, right? And great happiness. Yeah. Like, look at this. This is it's always darkest before the dawn, the nightingale. The nightingale sings to tell of a better day, and the dolphin is like 10 of Cups energy. You've got great happiness. So it's almost strange that, because I was asking what's going on in the environment for you. Why would you disconnect from this when this seems so positive? I want to say that this is almost in the other environment for you, right? It's like it's in this environment, which is why you're here, right? It's like this is why you're here, because this is here. So of course you're going to disconnect from, I mean, maybe you are. Maybe you're really happy in May. Maybe there's some really good stuff coming for you in May. Okay. Increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, goldfish. And yeah, I knew the tiger was going to come out. That's so funny. Inkpot problems will be resolved. As I was shuffling this, I was seeing the tiger card, if I just kind of show you. But maybe a very different message would have come through. Maybe I would have read it differently if the tiger card had come through. But I was seeing the tiger, which is funny because there's a lion in there as well. But you're getting all this cat energy. So I had something, I thought it might have come through for Taurus and it didn't. There you go, this tiger. I was seeing this tiger and it didn't come out, and then it's here, right? Doing something risky, taking a chance. Virgo also have this. So the Cat Empire. So I went to see the Cat Empire. It's a band. They're really good if you want to have a listen. And I was getting something the other week, and it turned out to be the Cat Empire. I was like, how fucking obvious was that? But I didn't know at the time. So I was getting, I woke up and I was hearing Plaza del Ghetto, Plaza del Ghetto, Plaza del Ghetto. So this was on the 22nd of the 4th. I've got it in my notes. And I was like, I woke up and I was like, that sounds like Italian to me, because I was trying to learn Italian. And I was like, that sounds grammatically correct. And it sounds like true Italian. So I was like, I think it's the Plaza of the Cats, right? Plaza to the Cats, Plaza of the Cats. I can't remember Del. But it's ownership, right? That, or in the so I was like, it sounds like Plaza of the Cats to me, Cat Plaza. And I googled it, and it's real places. So there's a place in Argentina, there's a place in Barcelona, there's a place in Madrid, and there's a place in Rome. So these specific countries may mean something important. Countries and cities. So Lago di Torre in Argentina, the Campus Martius in Italy, I think it is, El Gato di Botero in Barcelona, Spain, and Plaza de los Gatos in Madrid. So what was common here was a couple of these places had cat sculptures, so big statues of cats, which seemed like it might be a message, and also they were like, even though they had different names, they were all known as like Cat Square, Cat Plaza, because either of the cat sculptures, or in the case of Rome, it's like the Roman Forum. So they had all these like temples and things, and it's kind of, if you look at it, it's kind of it's all these ruins, and they're like a tourist attraction, but they're kind of like bordered off, so you can go and you can look down at the ruins, but you can't actually go down there. So it's become kind of a bit of a refuge for cats, and it's known as like a cat sanctuary now, this place where all the stray cats hang out in the Roman Forum in Rome. So it's like literally Cat Empire, right? It's like because the Roman Empire, but now it's been taken over by cats, so now it's the Cat Empire, which I didn't put two and two together until I randomized the song. I was like, what is this trying to tell me? What am I getting here? And I randomized, and it gave me a Cat Empire song, So Many Nights. It's inappropriate that I should present like a retired matador with unpaid rent. So maybe somebody's Spanish, I don't know. But it's really funny to me. So I don't know why that's coming up, because you got this cat energy coming through in your reading. I don't know, but then you got this dog as well. I don't know. Okay, so doing something risky, taking a chance, but you have to do it at the right time, right? There's this timing factor. Great happiness, celebration, fun and enjoyment, goal-oriented person, protection from a powerful friend. Libra, you're tapping into something here. Okay. Giving me Gold Rush again, Taylor Swift. Okay. What's Libra's energy, please? Libra's energy in May. Thank you. I've swapped decks, by the way. I was using the Lightseers Tarot and the Muse Tarot for the first 6 readings. I've now switched over to the Steampunk Tarot and the Witches Tarot by Ellen Duggan. So Steampunk Tarot is Barbara Moore and Ali Fell, and the Witches Tarot is Ellen Duggan. Your energy is coming from the Witches Tarot. So anything from the Steampunk Tarot is someone else or situational. So your energy this month is Hangman. I told you about that patience energy. You just feel like you're biding your time, and really very Aquarian as well. I don't know if you've got Aquarius placements in your chart, but you're really starting to see something from a different perspective. really taking that bird's eye view of a situation. You feel very, very, you feel like you're having a change, maybe a change in perspective, a change in, it feels like a change in perspective in terms of how you view your reality, right? So even if your physical reality does not change, and maybe, you know, it's not possible to literally skip timelines. I don't know how you feel about that. Even if you think of this as kind of far-fetched, you can still read it as, when you shift your perspective on your situation, on your reality, when you change the way that you approach the world, you change your world, right? So it's sort of like, if you always see the world as glass half empty and think, why do things happen to me, then you have no agency. You know, you don't do anything to kind of change your situation. But when you see yourself as an, you know, if you have a light switch moment where you think glass is half full, there's a lot of opportunity here, I do have agency in my own life, I do get to make choices regarding, you know, what I want from a situation, then you step up and you do more actively, and it does change your reality. So if you want to look at it this way, you've got this, you've done this, you're doing this really deep dive, like this hermit mode, kind of soul searching energy, getting a very, very high perspective on your situation, where it's really like a bird's eye view. You know, it's not that idea of like, I can't see the woods for the trees. It's like you're seeing the whole woods. You've really got this kind of like God eye view of your life and of your reality. You're having this change and transformation from within. The reason why I'm saying this is this butterfly on this card, because I'm really seeing this kind of like hawk energy, like all these birds, right? It's like this bird, this butterfly. So you're having this real internal transformation. Here's the volcano, right? The Ace of Wands is this willpower, right? It's the, do you remember we saw like the goddess riding the tiger? You've got this willpower, you've got this ferocious tiger or panther energy within you, right? And there's a lot of drive with that. It's kind of like a Queen of Wands, King of Wands energy, very empowered, very passionate, very driven, very determined, very focused. You just have to, it's like you have to be let out of the cage, right? Who says that? It's in one of your songs, something about being let out of a cage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just show you quickly. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timestamp. There's progression here. There is forward movement. Things are happening for you, Libra. They're just happening. Oh, and my God, and my battery power is 34% as well. Do you see that? Like, I don't know if it's not focusing. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. So there is progression, there is forward movement. Things are happening for you. Let me just check my songs. Okay, so it's Mr. Brightside, but it's Hayley Kiyoko's cover. And he says, I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. So it's like, after this very patiently doing this, you feel like you're in the chrysalis, right? You feel like you're doing some kind of internal transformation. So when you come out of your chrysalis, out of your cage, and you come back to reality, you're doing it with the Ace of Wands energy. There's some new idea, there's some new passion. It could be a new creative project you've got going on, but it's like you've got this, you've come out with this drive. It's like the battery, right? It's like the battery pack there. You just have to unwrap you have to let it out the box. You're the toy with the battery. It's going a bit lewd now. Okay. I love this for you, Libra, because a lot of you have had a really hard time recently. You know, with that unsinkable ship energy, it's like how you've kept floating. Okay, 2 of Swords, Ace of Swords. Hold on, I'm not asking yet. Right. So Libra, what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of a timeline for you throughout May. We're going to go sort of early May to later May. Again, it's going to be different for everybody depending on where on the timeline you're on. We're going to do emotional space, thoughts, and action space, reality. So it's kind of internal, external. And we're going to have anything from the Steampunk Tarot is going to be an influencing factor, an external factor to you. Anything from the Witch's Tarot is going to be your energy, so something within you. Okay, emotions for Libra in May. Oh my God, really good. Oh, sorry, guys, sorry, I don't know what's happened there. There you go. The first card to come out was the Sun. Really, really good. Yeah, it's like they're giving me freedom. Freedom, I won't let you down. I will not give you up. You feel free inside. You feel happy. You feel free. Like I said, your energy internally is really good. It's external that's causing you problems. Yeah, and it's like I call the sun card like the battery pack as well, like mega battery pack energy there. Recharging your batteries. Then death. That's your energy. Feels almost the Kali energy of, I want to say Kali, I don't know if it's Shiva or Kali, I'm sorry. I'm not as good on Eastern mythology as I am kind of Western mythology. Or ancient Greek, ancient Roman is my thing. Oh my God. Yeah, you're closing out one reality here. God, you've got big energy. That is 3 major arcana in your emotions, and you're showing up as the hangman. Like, there's something really big going on for you here, Libra. And again, I want to say there's nothing bad happening. This is not bad. This is meant to be. It's meant to happen. There's a cycle that you have to close out because the death card comes when something is no longer fit for purpose, or it's toxic, or it's just reached the end of its time, and it's closure. And you're closing this chapter with the world as well, which is I've learnt these lessons. I'm done with that chapter. So for me personally, the way I would read this is I've had some real challenges. I've been dealing with death energy a lot, that kind of plutonic energy. I was actually hearing 7-year cycles earlier today. So it's like you could have been going through something, a 7-year, 7-month cycle, something like this, where you've been dealing with death, literal death, or if not literal death, then really profound endings in your life, endings of a job, ending of a career, ending of a phase of who you were. You're not that person anymore. You've changed. You're a different person. So for me, yeah, it's literal death. I've lost both my parents, Madonna, my cat, variety. And I've learned lessons. I've learned how to hold on to this in the face of this, right? I've learned how to be this when I'm surrounded by this. And I feel very strong for that. I feel like I've been broken, but I kept swimming and I'm here, right? It's I've learned those lessons. I'm closing that chapter, right? I don't need to repeat those lessons anymore. Yeah, heartbreak. So thinking about heartbreak, but feeling the sun. It gave me free from heartbreak, but then I got a song and it's safe from heartbreak. Safe from heartbreak if I never fall in love. There's a spider on my window. Seen a lot of spider energy, again, networking, dream catcher energy as well. Spiders are a very positive sign, actually. They're very industrious. They work really hard. Very, very skilled, kind of like 8 of Pentacles energy. They build that web over and over again. And they catch pests, right? They catch the bad things. So this is why dream catchers look like spider webs, right? Flies are kind of a nuisance, right? I mean, birds eat them. They have their place, but you don't want your house to be full of flies. So the spider's catching the flies. Okay. Safe from heartbreak if I never fall in love. I think, everything has a season, everything has a time and a place, and you're enjoying it in the here and now when you can. There's some fields near my house and they're trying to build houses on them, and I'm like, we should need to enjoy this. They've been actually cordoned off, but it's like we need to enjoy them while they're here, because we don't know how long they're going to be here for, so let's appreciate them while they are here. Thoughts. 3 of Pentacles. There's a collaboration here. Thinking about, this isn't you. Wait, hang on, this isn't you. That's the Steampunk Tarot. So you're thinking about somebody else's heartbreak. You're thinking about breaking someone's heart. That's your energy. So you want to collaborate. You want to work together. So you're thinking, or you're thinking about working together. You're thinking about a collaboration. I'll get all your cards and we'll kind of interpret them fully. Seven of Swords and stabbed in the back. Okay, let's take them. You're being sneaky. You're being sneaky because someone around you is betraying you. Either you're planning on stabbing someone in the back, or Libra. You're coming through justice. That's your card, that's your energy, and that's right and proper. So much major arcana. Oh my god, the world. That's steampunk tarot. You've got the world here and the world there. I might have to dive deeper into your reading, Libra. King of Pentacles. That's your energy. I would normally read the King of Pentacles as someone around you, but it's come through as your energy. Two of Cups. Well, you've definitely got a Two of Cups relationship on the go. So there is a connection for you that's a soulmate connection. This could also be your own internal energy, your masculine, feminine, light and shadow, yin and yang coming into one. There's a profound ending for you in May. You've got the World card twice. There's a chapter that's closing, lessons that are learned, a cycle that won't repeat itself. You're done. You're done with that. There could also be world travel. Perhaps you and someone else are traveling the world. It's coming through in the physical environment with this person. So if this is a person, this is somebody who either you know on the internet, you're right, you've got an internet connection, we've got the web, right, with the spider. It can be someone who's world famous, right? They've got some kind of celebrity, they're kind of well known. But yeah, normally I think with the Death card and the Ten of Swords, I'm reading it as lessons learned. Like you're done with something. I want to say you've generated very, very good karma for yourself throughout this. Because again, you've done the Fool's Journey, right? Because the major arcana of the Tarot ends with the World. So you've done it. You've again, cycle not repeating itself. And I want to say you've done it very high vibrationally. You could be actually dealing with legalities. It's coming through as your energy. Maybe you work in the legal system. Maybe you're drawing up contracts. Feels very karmic though. It feels like karmic contracts. Could be that there's some kind of contract that's ending for you. It's being closed by this other person. Because you are coming through as justice, right? And it is your energy. It's Libran energy in the tarot. So very, very high vibrational, very truthful. She's speaking her truth. She's got a sword raised. She's being very fair, being very balanced. You are aware of someone else's heartbreak. You're thinking about someone else's heartbreak. You feel free. You feel free. You have high integrity. You're thinking about someone else's heartbreak. You feel this profound ending. You're thinking about collaborating with somebody, or maybe you feel like you have to do a lot of stuff alone. And you have this, externally you have the world. So there could be something going on in the world. Again, something, your reading's so hard to read. What do I want to go with? Let's get the Law of Attraction Tarot. It's really profound, Libras. It's a big deal. Two of Pentacles. There's been Something about balance, something that maybe there's two situations you've been juggling. You've been balancing something out. Obviously the Justice card has this these scales, so you've been weighing something up, weighing up your options, making a decision. I'm hearing weight of the world. What is the what? Seven of Swords. There's some deception here. Okay, let's move to the Seven of Swords then. So here in your thoughts, you're thinking about deception, right? You're thinking about, again, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's for a bad reason. The Seven of Swords is somebody who's stealing swords from a battlefield so they can't be used to injure each other the next day. And externally, you've got this Ten of Swords energy. So it's almost like, you know the story of Caesar, like Julius Caesar, he gets stabbed in the back, right? He gets betrayed and, you know, by his friends. It's almost like somebody, like the night before, this person gets everybody drunk and goes around and steals all the daggers off them so that they can't betray Caesar. You know, it's like, so the stabbing in the back is avoided. So you're being patient, you're playing your cards close to your chest because you feel an ending coming and you don't want people to get hurt. So if there's any sneakiness, it's because you're trying to save people from heartbreak. Because if that was both your energy, I would say you're betraying someone, but you're not betraying someone. It's not, this isn't your energy. This is somebody externally. Somebody could be feeling betrayed by you, but you're feeling stabbed in the back by you, but because you're showing up with the Justice card, I don't think you are. I would say this is strategy for a good reason rather than, it's disarming, right? So you're thinking about disarming because this isn't reality. This isn't, the Ten of Swords isn't showing up in your reality. It's showing up as your thoughts. How do I get the upper hand in this situation? How do I stop people hurting each other? But you may have to use sneaky methods to do this. So what's the world in your emotions? Six of Wands. Again, there could be some kind of recognition. You feel recognized. You feel recognized by the world. You feel like you feel like you're reaping what you've sowed in a way, in a positive way. And then you show up with the King of Pentacles, which is, I want to say, you taking some kind of win here. Especially if there's kind of like contracts, maybe like online work or something. You're sitting really pretty by the end of it. You've got some kind of solid foundation under your feet. You've got some kind of, I mean, this is very earthy. So it's like you come back down to earth feeling actually quite successful, very skilled, very knowledgeable, very capable. Like you've got the resources to do what you need to do and you're able to provide for others. I feel like this is the light at the end of the tunnel. Somehow I feel like a decision goes in your favor because of your good karma and because of your high road energy, right? Your good vibration energy, your integrity. Because of your integrity, a decision goes in your favor. Which brings you some kind of recognition. It feels like the light at the end of the tunnel, but there is a need to be strategic. Again, you had that kind of not necessarily saying anything energy. So what's the Ten of Swords? The Ten of Swords is for someone else. What's the Ten of Swords? Someone else is experiencing bad fortune. That's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Someone else has bad fortune, but I want to say we generate our own karma, we generate our own fortune. And I don't, although you have the Seven of Swords, I don't feel like it's, I feel like it's strategic for the greater good rather than selfish. It's not the Five of Swords, right? This Five of Swords is winning at all costs. This is disarming. How do I avoid, hang on, just my son bringing me some letters. And then on the bottom here is where you've got this, I want to say this is the, what card is this? What number? Yeah, it's the Death card. It's transformation, it's endings and new beginnings. And it's a really good new beginning for you. Someone else is experiencing some bad luck. I think you sense that if you take the win, this person will be taking the L, right? And I think you want trying to spare somebody some heartbreak. You don't want somebody to feel betrayed, or you don't want there to be any conflict over your successes. So I don't know, Libra, I think, again, you're taking the higher road. You're coming through the Empress energy. You're coming through Justice energy. I mean, the Empress isn't here, but, like, you start off with the Sun in your heart. So, whatever you're doing, I think you're doing it for the best reasons. You can't help the way other people feel about situations. You know, they're entitled to feel whatever they're feeling. If they feel betrayed, they feel betrayed. It's not, if you know, if everything's right between you and God, right? If everything's right between you and the universe, and you know that you've done everything with the best of intentions, and your luck came in because of that, it's not your fault if someone else feels unlucky. Right? There's definitely something ending for you, and there's definitely something better coming in for you. Oh, didn't even ask. Melchizedek, spiritual development, exactly. Study, exactly. You had the library. Law of attraction, exactly. You get what you give. Goddess Lakshmi, prosperity, beauty, and fortune. Yeah, you've generated some really good karma for yourself, Libra, I want to say. Is there anything else for May? Anything or anyone else for May? That's it for you. Speaking of volcanoes, right? Pele on the bottom, respect, tradition, and fire. Yeah, Libra, I don't know what you're doing, but you've there's some really good stuff coming your way. I think you've suffered for it as well. I feel like you've learned the lessons that the universe has been sending you, and they've been tough lessons. So I'm hearing humility. Melchizedek. Melchizedek was a high priest during biblical times and is mentioned in the Old Testament and the Dead Sea Scrolls. So I'm just going to pause quickly. So this could be, basically, don't worry too much about the religion or deity that's on these cards. This is more about the universe working through us. So if you want to see this as the literal person that's on the card, like Goddess Lakshmi and Melchizedek, you can absolutely do that if that's to your taste. I'm more encouraging you to see this as an aspect of your higher self, right? An aspect of the divine within us, and how do we embody these energies and learn these lessons and act this way in our own lives throughout the month of May. And also it could be somebody stepping forward. It could be kind of representing an ancestor or spirit guide for you as well, so take that if it resonates. It could also be representing somebody that you know, right? The universe, the higher power energy working through people in your physical environment who are showing up for you. So I'll leave it to you to interpret this however you want to interpret it, or leave it if it's not your thing. But yeah. So Melchizedek is said to be the pre-incarnate Christ, as there are many similarities between his story and the story of Jesus. Known as an angel, the general of the heavenly armies and the king of peace in New Age spirituality, Melchizedek is seen as a very high vibrational and wise spiritual teacher. So I feel like this is absolutely the energy that you're embodying with that higher power energy. So let me just read that again. Very high vibrational and wise spiritual teacher and leader of the light. He is wonderful to connect with in times when you wish to accelerate your spiritual journey. The Oracle, you are a leader of light. Work on developing your spiritual abilities and talents through study and practice, which is what I feel like you're doing in May anyway. Whether you had this reading or not, I feel like that's your destined purpose in May. Call on Melchizedek for assistance with spiritual study, finding the right books. Guys, you can't make this up. Finding the right books, events, resources, and courses. So again, this could be someone showing up for you, some kind of teacher, or maybe somebody who's very learned, perhaps an Aquarius. You've got a lot of Aquarian energy at the beginning of the reading. Perhaps this is the powerful friend. This person seems to be pointing you in the right direction of kind of exploring your abilities further. Finding the right time and energy for your spiritual studies, working with the law of attraction and manifestation. And didn't I say that? Find the time for this. Stepping into your power as a light worker and a leader of light. Starting a spiritual business. Initiating yourself as a priest or priestess. Embody the spirit of Melchizedek. So I'll just bring this closer to you so you can refer back to this kind of if you need to throughout the month. Embody the energy of Melchizedek by prioritizing your spiritual practices and study, which I absolutely see you doing in May. Learning your lessons in all areas of your life. I said that. I love it when it confirms what I've been saying. Sharing what you've learned with others. Holding sacred space for others. You had space, remember? That was one of the words that came through. And teaching. So I don't know, maybe you're going to be a very different kind of teacher, Libra. Goddess Lakshmi, 28. I love this card. I think she's really, I think she's got such gorgeous energy. I don't know, like the colouring of the blue and the pink. I think it's really, I think the artistic representation of people on all these cards is really beautiful. So I think it's this Ellie Grant, yeah. That's the artist, Ellie Grant. I'll show you the deck that I'm using. Goddess Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity, fortune, and beauty. Beauty, right? You're Libra, you're ruled by Venus, goddess of beauty. She is respected and revered in the Buddhist and Jain, Jain paths, as well as in New Age and other spiritual belief systems. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth and can be called upon for any issues relating to money, finances, abundance, and material wealth, connecting you to the energy of prosperity consciousness. And again, you're King of Pentacles, guys. You are blessed. Hashtag blessed. Connecting you to the energy of prosperity consciousness, Lakshmi shows you that money is energy and that true wealth and abundance is not about how much money you have in the bank. It's a feeling, an energy, a way of being. The Oracle, prosperity now. Stay in gratitude for all you have, no matter how much. Use your wealth in ways that light up your heart and soul, which is what I see you doing here, right? This is your emotions. You've got the sun there. Remember that prosperity is not a number. It is a state of being, and you've mastered that, right? You've got that by the end of the month. Call on Lakshmi for assistance with financial issues, needing money quickly, manifesting money, money spells, feeling abundant and prosperous, no matter how much you have in the bank, seeing the richness of your own beauty, investments, inheritance, promotions and pay rises, bills and fines. Embody the energy of Lakshmi by being grateful for all you have, knowing that true prosperity is a state of mind, being generous with what you have, sharing your wealth, asking for what you are worth. That's a big one for me to learn. I've got Capricorn Lilith, so imposter syndrome is hard for me. Sort of actually getting paid for my time has been a big lesson for me. Understanding that, you know, I should be fairly compensated for the work that I do. Spending money on things you love and value, paying your bills on time with gratitude for the services received. Oh my God, that came up for me this month. I mean, I'm still in April, but I am a Libra, right? I had a plumbing emergency, a pipe just randomly started leaking quite badly, and it was leaking into through the ceiling of my lounge, and I had to get an emergency plumber out. But I was really thankful because the guy who's been doing it, he came out a while back and he fixed the stop tap under my sink, and if he hadn't done that, you know, the problem would have been much worse than it was, because I couldn't stop the water before. But because he's recently fixed the stop tap, I was able to, you know, we were able to turn off the water. So you know, the pipe didn't continue to leak through my living room ceiling. Like the damage was minimized, the problem was minimized. And this guy came back and he came out like first thing the next morning and fixed it so quickly. So I feel really awkward paying people. I'm like, this is really awkward. But it was like, I was so thankful, like that he came out quickly, that he was so efficient. And, you know, I'm like, to have a good plumber that, you know, is a blessing. So yeah, it was like I couldn't fix that problem. I was more than happy to pay them for the work that they did, because again, just very, very thankful for that service. So that's an interesting one, just how that's come up for me. I've had this feeling of like gremlins. So I play The Sims, and there's a feature where you can add these characteristics to like the lot that you're playing on, like the house that you're playing on. You can add all these different characteristics, and some are beneficial and some aren't. And one of them is gremlins, and it's like I think they kind of break things around your house. And Mercury retrograde every year, every time there's a Mercury retrograde, it shows up in different ways for me. But I felt like gremlins are in my house. So the pipe burst inexplicably. My washing machine decided to take itself for a walk. The outside drain decided to block itself. And I've had all these little kind of like household problems. I'm just like, oh my God, it's the Mercury retrograde gremlins. No, stop. But it's like the playfulness of it. So, you know, like, so I'm just talking now, you can turn off if you want. You know, A Midsummer Night's Dream, like, you know, Puck, the mischief fairy. It's like there's this Puck energy around during Mercury retrograde. And you can see it as just mischievous and not, maybe a little bit antagonistic, but not evil. I don't know. I don't know. It's like you've got this always look on the bright side of life energy of like, giggling at the mischief of it or something like that. It's like I'd rather it didn't happen. But the funny thing was as well, I'd had like unexpected money that I was really thankful for. You know, and a couple of days before the plumbing broke, and where I used to, when I first started dabbling in spirituality and manifestation and you know, the thoughts like abundance mindset and things like this, the way it came through at first was I would get a problem, like a money problem. For example, when COVID started, I couldn't get bread and milk. Like all the bread and milk was out from the shop, and I was like, where am I going to get bread and milk from? And I went into work, and it was like the last day before we closed because of COVID, and we had all this bread and milk that would have just gone out of date. So my boss sent me home with bread and milk, and I was like, the abundant universe provides, right, in unexpected ways. And it's things like I had a bill, and then I got money, like unexpected money again, like a payout for some work that I did that was, I'd earned tax, but I hadn't earned enough tax, so they kind of paid it out. And again, didn't know that was going to happen, but it's like the way it used to happen was like I'd get a money problem and then the universe would provide. And now it's like the universe provides and then I get the problem, and it's like, well, I've already got the money to deal with that. So there's this interesting, like the universe is kind of a little bit more preemptive for me at the moment in terms of a mindset of abundance. And again, I don't have a lot of money. I could definitely do with more, but I have, I'm working with the universe now to make sure my needs are met, my basic needs are met, right? And it's interesting how the universe works in mysterious ways, guys, is what I'm going to say, but believe in it. I hope this was really helpful to you. Maybe just look into the laws of abundance and an abundance mindset. That could help you as well in May. Yeah, law of attraction's there. Yeah, you're working with this. You're working with the universe in a good kind of way, in a way that's not greedy or selfish, but in a way that, you know, you're doing good and it's suiting the universe to work with you. That's what I think, that's probably what the collaboration is, right? The collaboration through Three of Pentacles is you and the universe working together to do some good, which means an end to the old way of being that's no longer fit for purpose. Yeah, you're coming out of your cage and you're doing just fine. Look at the Fool energy. Look at that Fool energy. And then, oh my God, the Ace of Cups. And look how like fruitful that is. This Star energy. Yeah, you've got some good stuff coming. Libras, hold on, be patient. Hold on for one more day. Universe has got you. Protection from a powerful friend. You've got some kind of powerful ally, and it's, yeah, you're really good, Libras. You deserve it. Don't ever feel like you don't deserve it. You really, really do. You put so much good out into the world. So keep going, keep your chin up, and keep doing what you're doing, because it feels like you're on the right track. Right, take care of yourselves. I love you all. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.